The diary was never supposed to be found. It was tucked away inside a decaying leather satchel, buried beneath a loose floorboard in an abandoned farmhouse on the outskirts of Hollow Creek. The house had been left to rot for decades. But when a group of teenagers dared each other to explore the ruins, one of them kicked through the floor and exposed the satchel. They thought they had discovered treasure, old coins, maybe jewelry. Instead, what they found was far more sinister, a diary. Its pages yellowed, brittle, and stained with something darker than time. Inside, written in a sharp, jagged hand, were entries that revealed the thoughts of a killer. The first page read, March 12, 1984. Tonight I claimed my first soul. It felt cleaner than I imagined. No screams, only silence after the struggle. The world is full of noise, but death makes it quiet. The teenagers laughed nervously, assuming it was some twisted piece of fiction. But as they read on, the laughter faded. The entries became detailed, names, dates, even locations, places they recognized, streets they had walked. And then came the chilling realization. Many of those names belonged to real people, who had mysteriously gone missing decades earlier. The diary was not fiction. It was a confession. The news spread fast. Police swarmed Hollow Creek, reopening cold cases long considered unsolvable. Each diary entry became evidence, every detail a breadcrumb leading back to forgotten crime scenes. One detective, Claire Harlow, took a particular interest in the case. She had grown up in Hollow Creek, and one of the names in the diary was her aunt's, Margaret Harlow, who vanished in 1987 without a trace. For Claire, the diary wasn't just a lead. It was personal. As Claire read further, the killer's voice seemed to reach across time, whispering in her ear. They never look in the right places. People are blind when you give them a story to believe. Missing, runaway, murdered, an accident. They swallow the lies I feed them. The killer described luring victims, sometimes strangers, sometimes acquaintances, always blending into their trust before striking. He wrote about the thrill of control, the intoxicating quiet that followed violence. But what disturbed Claire most was how ordinary he sounded. He wasn't a monster hiding in the shadows. He was someone who attended church, bought groceries, waved to neighbors. His diary wasn't just a record of crimes, it was a manual for living two lives. The deeper Claire dug, the more the diary began to unravel her sanity. She found herself reading it late at night, long after she should have put it down, the killer's words echoing in her mind. Then she noticed something no one else had. Scattered throughout the diary were cryptic symbol circles, lines, crude sketches of houses and barns. At first, they seemed meaningless. But when Claire overlaid them onto a map of Hollow Creek, a chilling pattern emerged. Each symbol marked a location. Each location matched a place where a body had been found or was still missing. Claire convinced her team to search the marked sites. And one by one, the diary proved true. Skeletons surfaced from shallow graves, forgotten wells, and hidden clearings. The diary wasn't just a confession. It was a roadmap of death. But the most terrifying discovery came near the end of the diary. The final entry was dated August 22, 1993. It read, I am done writing. The diary is not for me anymore. It is for you. Whoever finds it will understand me, maybe even finish what I started. My work is not over. It only sleeps until another hand carries it forward. Claire's blood ran cold. The diary was not only a record. It was an invitation. Then something even stranger happened. The more Claire investigated, the more she felt, watched. She found anonymous notes on her windshield. Her phone would ring, and no one would speak on the other end. At first, she thought it was paranoia until one night. She came home to find a single page from the diary pinned to her door. But this page wasn't old or yellowed. It was new, written in the same jagged hand. Welcome home, Detective Harlow. You're reading my story now. That makes you part of it. Panic seized her. She had the diary locked away in evidence, so how could there be a new entry? Unless the killer was still alive. Or worse, someone else had picked up where he left off. Claire doubled her efforts, chasing leads in the diary with a desperation that bordered on obsession. The entries haunted her, twisting her dreams into nightmares. And as she connected the dots, She realized the killer had been closer to her family than she ever imagined. Her aunt's disappearance wasn't random. The killer had written about her in chilling detail. Margaret fought the hardest. She begged me not to. She promised to keep my secret if I let her go. But promises are just words, and words can't undo what I've done. Claire's hand shook as she read. She imagined her aunt's final moments, the betrayal in her eyes. The diary wasn't just guiding her investigation. It was breaking her spirit. Then came the final twist. Buried deep within the back cover of the diary, Claire found a folded photograph, grainy, black and white. It showed a group of men standing outside a barn in the 1980s. One of them was her father. On the back of the photo, in jagged handwriting, were 5 words. He knew. He always knew. Claire's world collapsed. Had her father known the killer? Had he helped hide the crimes? Or worse, had he been the killer himself? She raced to confront her mother, desperate for answers. But her mother, pale and trembling, refused to meet her eyes. "Claire," she whispered, "some truths aren't meant to be uncovered." But Claire couldn't stop. Not now. The diary had consumed her. Every page was a step deeper into madness. Every entry a thread tying her family to unspeakable horrors. She no longer knew if she was chasing justice or simply feeding the diary's curse. Because the truth about the murderer's diary wasn't just that it revealed the past. It had the power to shape the future. And as Claire sat alone one night, staring at the final page, she noticed something terrifying. Under the old ink, faint but visible in the light, were fresh words, as if the diary was still writing itself. Next victim, Detective Claire Harlow. The story of Hollow Creek doesn't end with the diary being found. It ends with the diary waiting for the next hand willing to turn the page. What would you do if you found a diary like this? Knowing every word you read pulled, you closer to becoming its next chapter? Let me know in the comments. And remember, some stories are written in blood, not ink.